Good day, grade 9 students. Our lesson for today is all about the effects of changing the values of a, h, and k of quadratic function and its graph. So where can we find those letters a, h, and k? So it is in the vertex or standard form of quadratic function. So let's start. So the standard or vertex form of quadratic function is equal to y is equal to a times the quantity of x minus h squared plus k. So you have there a, h, and k, the blue letters. Okay, so what is the effect of this letter a? And what is the effect of this letter h if we change their values? And what is the effect of this k if we change the value of k in the graph of quadratic function, or what we call the parabola, because the parabola is the graph of quadratic function. So ano ang epekto niyan sa parabola na nag-graph natin kapag we are dealing with quadratic function? Okay, so let's have an example. Okay, for example, we have this quadratic function in vertex form. Y is equal to quantity x minus 1 squared plus 0. So I just put plus 0, but this plus 0 uh, can be deleted. So it is only x minus 1 squared. Why did I put plus 0? To emphasize that there is 0 there as your k, because we are dealing with vertex form. Okay, so if you're going to graph this, this is now your graph wherein the vertex is at 1, 0. So here, this is 1, 0. So the vertex is 1, comma 0. This is your h, and this is your k. So this is your h here in vertex form, and this is your k. So what will happen to this parabola if we change this quadratic function into this one? So y is equal to the quantity of x minus 3 squared minus 4. So what is the changes in the parabola? What happened to this parabola? From this parabola going to this parabola. If you're going to graph that, so the orange parabola, this is now the graph of y is equal to the quantity x minus 3 squared minus 4. Okay, so wherein the vertex there is this one. So you have 3, comma, negative 4. Okay, so that's the vertex. Now, what do you observe? So from observing the two graphs, we can easily identify the movement of this vertex to this vertex. So that's how we identify the movement using its vertex. So from this vertex, it moves here. So it moves 1, 2, because it's up to here. So you have 2 units to the right. It moves 2 units to the right and 4 units downward. So to move up to here. So mula dito, nag-move siya ng dalawa to the right at nag-move siya 4 pababa. So yun yung nangyari sa parabolang to. So from this parabola, going to this parabola. So what happens? The parabola moves 2 units to the right and 4 units downward. Okay, what if there is no parabola as shown in this picture? What if wala yan? Ito lang. So, ang gagawin nyo lang, identify the vertex. This is 1, 0, and 3, comma, negative 4. So, you will just subtract the value of h. So, the second h, which is 3, 3 minus 1. So, if you don't have this graph, you can refer to your vertex. 3 minus 1. So it's 2, positive 2. So it's 2 units to the right. If your answer is negative, 2 units to the left. And since this is positive, 3 minus 1. So it's positive 2. What about for k? Negative 4 minus 0. It is still negative 4. So since the answer is negative, it is 4 units downward. Negative is means downward. Negative 4 minus 0. So for your k, the movement is upward or downward. For your h, the movement is to the right, to the left, depending on the sign. If it is positive, to the right. If it is negative, to the left. For k, if it is positive, upward. If it is negative, downward. Okay, I already discussed that in our previous videos. Okay, so here, if you have two given quadratic function, from this first quadratic function to this quadratic function, what happened to the graph or to the parabola? So here, the parabola moves 2 units to the right and 4 units downward. Okay, another example. Okay, from this quadratic function, y is equal to negative quantity x plus 2 squared minus 1. So the graph here is downward because of your negative here. If it is positive, that is upward. So the parabola opens downward, this one. Okay, so the vertex here is negative 2, comma, negative 2. So this is the opposite of positive 2, negative 2. And then copy, negative 1. Okay? So your vertex is negative 2, comma, negative 1. It's here. So this is now your graph opens downward because of the negative. So what will happen to this parabola if we change this vertex form into this? So your h becomes 4, your k becomes 2. So it is now y is equal to negative quantity x minus 4 squared plus 2. So let's graph first. So the vertex is this one, 4, comma 2. So this is your vertex. So this green parabola, this is the graph of y is equal to negative quantity x minus 4 squared plus 2. So our vertex is 4, comma 2. Now, you can, using this parabola, what happened to, we using these two pictures of the graph, what happened to this parabola, our first parabola? Okay, so if you're going to count from here, going to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 units to the right. This black parabola moves 6 units to the right and goes how many upward? 1, 2, 3. 3 units upward. Okay, to end here. Again, from this parabola, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 units to the right. And then 1, 2, 3, 3 units upward to end here in this vertex. Okay, so that is the parabola moves 6 units to the right and 3 units upward. So what if you don't have graph? Again, same process, just subtract the two values of your h. So your second h is 4 minus your first h. So 4 minus the quantity negative 2. You subtracted negative. So 4 minus negative. Okay, so this will become, change the sign, then proceed to addition. So 4 plus 2. Okay, it becomes 6. Again, the process is 4 minus negative 2. You can write it down, 4 minus negative 2. What's the answer? It's 6. Here, 2 minus negative 1. So, subtract the two values of k. So, 2 minus negative 1. So, it's 3. So, 3 units upward. Why upward? It's positive. y to the right, it's positive. Okay, if your answer is positive, for k, it's upward. For h, it's to the right. Okay, since they are both positive, the answer is positive. Okay, now, okay, another example, what if our quadratic function is in general form? So this is in general form, y is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 1. What will happen to its graph if it becomes y is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 2? So first thing you should do is to convert this into vertex form, which was discussed in our previous lesson. So ano ang vertex form nito? So ang vertex form niyan ay y is equal to quantity x plus 1 squared minus 2. While this one, ang vertex form nito ay y is equal to the quantity x minus 2 squared minus 6. So if you're going to graph this, this is the graph of the first one. So this is your vertex. It's negative 1, comma, negative 2. The opposite of this, positive 1, negative 1. Then copy, negative 2. So this is your vertex. In graph, it's here. So it's negative 1, comma, negative 2. So what will happen to this graph? It becomes this one. So let's graph this one. So the graph is the green parabola wherein the vertex is here. So the vertex is here and the coordinates of x and y are 2, comma, negative 6. So this is the coordinate of your h and your k is negative 2. So from negative 6, sorry. So from negative 2, it becomes positive 2 here because that's your h. And then for k, negative 6 copy. So this is the vertex. It's here in the graph. Okay. So using the picture of the graph, we can easily identify the movement. So from this vertex of the yellow parabola, it moves 1, 2, 3. So 3 units to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4. So up to this end, the vertex of the second parabola, which is the green. So ano yung movement? 4 units downward. Again, 3 units, 1, 2, 3, 3 units to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 units downward. So what happened to the parabola? The parabola moves 3 units to the right and 4 units downward. So what if we don't have graph again? Without this, you can use the value of your h, 2 minus negative 1. So 2 minus negative 1. So it's 3. And then negative 6 minus negative 2. Again, negative 6 minus negative 2. Okay, so it's 4. So since the answer here is negative, it's downward. The answer here is positive 3. 2 minus negative 1, it's positive 3. So 3 units to the right. And negative 6 minus negative 2, it's negative 4. So it's 4 units downward. So the negative there means downward. Okay? So that's how we know the movement of the graph from first given quadratic function to the second quadratic function. So ano ba ang nagbago sa graph niya? Okay. So that's what we call the changing of the value of your h and k. Okay? Okay, what if we change the value of your a? Here in y equals x squared, the value of your a here is 1. So imaginary 1 here. You have there 1. So the graph, the vertex is at the origin, 0, 0. Opens upward because your a is positive 1. Okay, what if we change it into y is equal to 2x squared? Your a becomes 2. So, higher than 1. 1, 2. What will happen to the graph or to the parabola? Okay. So, observe the green parabola here. From black parabola, what happened? Okay. And then, let's change again our value of a. So, y is equal to 3x squared. Your a here becomes 3. So, you have here 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if your a is 3, what will happen to the parabola? Okay, look at the red parabola. So, from here, black, green, red. So, what happened to the parabola? Okay, and then let's change to y is equal to 4x squared. So, our a here is 4. So, the orange parabola, observe the orange parabola. So, this is your orange parabola. Okay, what happened if we change our 1 into higher positive numbers? Positive 2, positive 3, positive 4. Into higher positive numbers. Higher than 1. Okay, so yun po. Yan po ang nangyari. Naging mas narrower yung graph. Narrow na tong yung orange versus the other three. So, kapag mas mataas yung ating letter A, narrower po siya. Mas mataas po siya sa 1. Okay, so yung 2, 3, 4. Okay, paano naman pag negative? Okay, let's see the negative. Okay, so y is equal to negative x squared. Your a here is negative 1. Okay, it's still at the origin, but it opens downward because of your negative 1. Okay, let's make it negative 2. There. So, negative 2, what will happen to the graph? Okay, observe the green parabola. Okay, there. It's now narrower versus this yellow. And then, let's make it negative 3, x squared. So, we have here red parabola. So, the red parabola, it still opens downward because of the negative. So, the 3 there, the effect of the 3 is narrower than the green and the yellow. Okay. Y is equal to negative 4x squared. So, the orange parabola here, it's even narrower than the 3. So, what happens from negative 1 if we decrease it to negative 2, negative 3, negative 4? Okay, so from negative 1, pababa. Pababa na yung value na to. Although lumalaki yung numbers, since negative, pababa ng pababa yan. Okay? But this negative denotes downward. Opens downward lang yan. Okay, pero itong mga 2, 3, 4, it denotes or it suggests that the graph becomes narrower. Okay, so this is our observation. If our A is greater than 1, ano-ano yung mga yon? 1.5, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, and so on. Kasama yung mga decimals dyan. If that will be our A, or if our A is less than negative 1, mas mababa sa negative 1, yan po yung negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, the parabola is narrower as compared to y is equal to x squared plus or y is equal to negative x squared. So, mas narrower sila dito sa ating main quadratic basic quadratic function na y equals x squared. And then, or y equals negative x squared. Mas narrower yung mga quadratic function na ang a ay greater than 1 or a is less than negative 1. Kaya yun. Yung mga example natin dyan. Narrower means mas makipot. Ayan na siya. Mas makipot na yung parabola nyo. Okay? Okay, so what if our y is equal to x squared, ang a natin gawin nating fraction. Kasi kanina, less than 1 or greater than 1. Paano yung in between 0 to 1? Those are fractions. So, again, this is our graph of y equals x squared. So, ang ating vertex at the origin opens upward po siya kasi positive yung a. So, paano pag ginawa nating fraction, yung kanyang letter a, ang a po niya dito, 1. So, bababa natin sa 1 half. So, 1 is smaller than, 1 half is smaller than 1. So, naging fraction na po siya. What will happen to the graph? So, observe the green. So, from yellow, naging mas malawak na siya. Wider. Yung green po. Okay? Same vertex at the origin. So, naging 1 half. Pababain pa natin tong 1 half. Gawin natin 1/3 x squared. So, mas mababa to sa 1 half. Yung 1 half naman, mas mababa sa 1. Okay, so ano mangyayari sa graph natin? So, observe the red parabola. So, mas wider na ito kaysa sa green tsaka sa yellow. Okay? Yan po. So, mas lumalawak kapag pinapababa natin. Okay, gawin natin 1/4. So, y is equal to 1/4 x squared. So, mas mababa na to kaysa 1/3 kaysa 1 half. Okay, so ano mangyayari sa graph? Okay, so this orange parabola, ito na po yung widest among the four parabolas. Okay, so we have four graphs of parabola here. The widest is the orange parabola, wherein our a there is 1/4. So it is from the 4, it is the smallest value of a. Okay, siya na yung pinakamababa. Pag binabaan nyo pa to, 1/5, 1/6, mas lalawak pa po yung parabola natin. Okay, so ano ang conclusion natin dyan? So, kapag ang a natin ay nasa gitna ng 0 hanggang 1, 0 and 1, nasa gitna yan. 1 half, 1/4, 1/3, 1 fifth, 1/6. The parabola is wider as compared to y is equal to x squared. Pero kung kukumpara mo sila sa bawat isa, mas mababang fraction or mas mababang value ng a na nasa gitna ng 0 tsaka 1, siya po yung pinaka or tinatawag nating widest. Mas mababa, mas wide. Okay? So, wider po siya. Mas mababa yung value ng ano. Kapag ginawa nating negative ito, magda-downward lang lahat yan. Pero same movement. Yung graph mo magiging wider. Pag ginawa mo negative 1 half, negative 1/3, negative 1/4. Okay? Sa negative naman yon. So, same movement pero downward na kasi nilagyan mo ng negative. Parang kanina sa 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, tapos negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay. So, ganun din dito. Pag nilagyan mo ng negative 1 half, negative 1/3, negative 1/4. Okay, yun po ay opens downward. Pero same. Magwa-wide po sila. Ang movement ng graph nyo or yung itsura ng graph nyo ay wider. Okay? Yung negative doon is just the opening of the parabola. So, wag yung intindihin yung negative. Yung intindihin nyo lang yung fraction. 1 half, 1/3, 1/4. Okay. So, yan po. The parabola is wider as compared to y equals x squared. Okay. So, I hope you learned something new for this lesson. At magtanong ulit kayo kung may hindi naintindihan. Ulit-ulitin ang video kung kailangan para mas lalong maintindihan. Okay, so that's all. Goodbye, class.